Habibi, I'm going to be candid in this video. For me, I think one of the hardest things that we as young Muslims in the West go through is conformity, or specifically peer pressure, because the peer pressure on us Muslims is on steroids. We're like the opposite of the West. For example, I'll use dating and music. Dating, it's like, it doesn't even conceptualize in their minds. Me trying to explain that, like, I don't think anyone still understands that I can't date. Like, it's not a thing that we do. We don't do girlfriend, boyfriend. We just do the marriage thing. They just don't get it. Like, this is the integral part of high school. They just don't understand. So trying to reconcile that and trying to join the group, it becomes very difficult. I think some of us, and I found myself, some of us might go a bit too far in trying to be kind to everybody or trying to do things for them that may not be haram, but trying to do things to please them or to be accepted by them. Maybe this can be stuff like, a haram relationship. For me, it's a friend. And maybe for some people, it's just the group as a whole. I've felt that as well. Wanting to do things or act differently just so to be accepted by the group. Because societally, it's a normal thing. I found myself changing a little bit just because I want to please someone. But this is not how we should be living. The goal of this video is to speak about how we have to stop living for others and we have to start living for Allah. Because that is all that matters at the end of the day. But before that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sultan. I make videos for brothers who want to progress in their deen and their dunya. And if you like this type of content of improving for the sake of Allah and progressing in your deen and your dunya, subscribe inshallah, because you'll get more content like this fed to your homepage and your subscription page. And if you would like to join other like-minded brothers like yourself, and there's now a sister server, join our Discord, because you'll get access to speaking to people who have the same mindset of you, trying to be on deen and improve themselves at the same time. I've been doing this too. I've been trying to take a little bit of a different road or trying to act a bit different just to be accepted by a specific friend who's super important to me. And I found myself, of course, logically, it never works. You will never get that acceptance. Because you will never, I think there's an ayah in the Quran, subhanAllah, where it speaks about how the Christians and the Jews will never be happy with you until you abdicate your religion. But it's very true. Like, you can try your best to kind of edge the point of deen, but until you jump back to their camp, they will never be truly accepting of you. Sure, to a point, yeah, but you'll never be one of them again because you're different. And alhamdulillah, you're being guided, man. Humans are fallible creatures. Humans have trauma, they're emotional, they're irrational. So even if you do have, let's say for example, for me it's a good friend, but just not be their day and they're annoying, and now you're overthinking. Now you're trying to do this and that and your mind's occupied by it. This is not how we should live. Constantly overthinking. And I think a lot of like haram relationships go through this. Like, is she still with me? Are we still like, is there a problem? Does she still like me? All this energy we spend thinking about other people's opinions of us, even for the group. What do they think about me? What do they think about me? Oh, it's my beard. Or what? I go through this sometimes. This is what we do. We spend more time thinking about what other people think about us, think about what friends think about us. Maybe some of us think about what a haram girlfriend thinks about us. When we really should be spending that energy thinking about Allah. We keep thinking about if someone will like what we do, but when it comes to sinning, it's normal. You don't really think about what Allah is thinking, because we have no taqwa in today's day and age. And I think that social media is a big part of destroying that, because we're not mindful of Allah. Instead of spending all this energy thinking about other people and living for other people and following their deen, we should be completely thinking about Allah, because Allah has never failed us. Other people will always fail you. And this is not to say that don't be kind or don't be a good person. Like, of course, have friends, be a good person. Anything that is according to Sharia, it's calm. But Allah deserves that energy. Other people don't. And if you have toxic friends that are making you overthink, please get rid of them. Or at least distance yourself emotionally from that. And start focusing on what I'm going to tell you to do in the practical section, because then you won't be so emotionally attached. Because I think us as people, as slaves of Allah, we try and submit to something. We always do. And I've heard this type of topic a lot. As humans, we always have to submit to a religion or a something. But we're submitting to other people's thoughts of us, submitting to the group thought, submitting to atheist deen basically to an extent, instead of fully submitting to Islam, to the deen of Allah, to Allah Himself. Constantly thinking about Him, wrapped up, thinking what would be better for Him, for me to do. You know what I'm saying? We should be living like that constantly, and that's what we're going to get practically. We have to stop living for other people, stop living by other people's codes, and start living for Allah. Like, I speak about progressing in deen and dunya, and it's still difficult, but we gotta take this action. Because if we don't start living for Allah, it's a slippery slope. Shaitan can easily use you slowly edging your deen to the limit as a way to get you off the other side. But look, practically, what does that mean? What does it mean to live for Allah? I think for me, it's adding this practice of constant taqwa. It's like before you do something, or even like you'll know in your heart, when you're about to do something bad, ask yourself, would Allah be pleased with this? Even when you're doing something good, would Allah be pleased with this? If the answer is yes, alhamdulillah. If the answer is no, then what are you doing? We don't do things for other people because other people don't think that that's a good thing. Maybe some people haram relationship, they stop doing certain things because their girlfriend doesn't want them to. When it comes to Allah, it's fine. No matter if it's fun, no matter if it's gonna make you fit in. Like for me personally, I'll tell you a story today. Today was like our last day at matric or grade 12. And there's a big pool day. And I had the choice to go and swim uncovered without my aura covered, or covering my aura. Covering my aura would take just a little bit more effort. I would look a little bit weird. People must probably think I'm a bit sus, right? But then I asked myself, well, who am I trying to please? Would this please Allah? It would displease Allah if I just let my aura out. That makes no sense, because that's not what I'm after. I'm after Allah's pleasure. So what would please Allah is if I uncover my aura no matter what it takes, no matter if I'm a bit weird. That's okay. What would please Allah is me lowering my gaze constantly. It's difficult, but I can do it. I can do it. Because that would please Allah. That's how we have to be acting. No matter what the situation is, would this please Allah? Are you going to fail? Yes, sometimes. But for the most part, when you're entering situations or you're having decisions to make, use this thought framework. Because it's really been helping me today. Alhamdulillah. Look at that. And now I lived for Allah. I didn't live for other people. If I lived for other people, I would have uncovered my aura because I wanted the validation of all the girls looking at me. Astaghfirullah. Is it not better to be a little bit weird? But alhamdulillah, I followed Allah's deen and He's happier with me. This is jihad al-nafs. It's difficult. But who are you living for? Are you living for people or are you living for Allah? We can say something, but our actions are the ones that matter the most. That is what Allah is watching. He's watching me and you right now. He knows it all. And the next thing that we can do as a thought exercise and a thought experiment we can implement in our lives is what would please Allah. So something extra, like maybe you'll be bored one day. Why don't you download, I think it's Muslim Pro, everyone has it, and you have the tasbih. Or you can do it on your fingers. When you get bored, stop scrolling, start doing tasbih. What would please Allah? What extra can you do to progress in your deen to please Allah? If you work and you actually answer these questions constantly, you will be progressing to have more taqwa, you'll please Allah more, gain more good deeds, and you'll be progressing your deen in this way and avoiding the fitna of trying to live for other people or accept other people. And look, it's difficult. It's really difficult to be out of the group. I'm not saying don't be kind again. I'm not saying don't be kind, don't have friends. I'm saying don't overdo it. Don't make them your life. Because your life is deen. Your life is Allah. Worshipping Allah, and we progress in our deen and our dunya for the sake of Allah. So why is our actions different to our goals or our words or our intentions? We have to align these two things. And that is why Allah chose you to watch this video. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and stop living for other people. Start living for Allah. Stop overthinking for this person. They're not worth it. Be kind, but let it go. Let it go. Put your attention on Allah, on your deen, on your dunya. That's what matters. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.